Hi Photoshop Elementers, my name's Ken Fisher and this is Live Link Training. Come in, sit down, I've just got a brew on. Now, do you want to be more efficient and work faster? I know I do. Well, this may help. If you want to edit, then don't open the editor. I know, okay, it sounds a bit dim, but what I'm saying is there are some pretty powerful tools that are available for you in the Elements Organiser. You don't even have to open the editor at all. So, what's it all about? Well, let's get stuck in and I'll show you. After I've had a slurp. Okay. Although the Elements Organiser is used primarily for organising your images, it does have some more functionality. Now, one of these is to make some adjustments in the Organiser itself rather than the editor. Now let's look at how that works. I'm in the media panel of the Elements Organiser and I'm going to scroll and I'm going to click on this image here. So we'll say this one. And I'm going to go down to the bottom and click on the instant fix icon, this little icon here. And that's going to take me into the instant fix editor. Now in this mode there's a load of cool stuff that you can do. Now you'll notice down at this bottom left hand corner I can undo and I can redo things that I've done. If I need to, I can flip the image. If I need to, I can click the reset button here to reset me back to where I started. And here there's a before and after button which to show me the before and after when I've made any edits. Now over here on the right you can see I've got a set of tools that I can use for adjusting my image. So the first one, if I click on the crop tool, it gives me a list of different crop options. And I just have to choose one. So we'll say 1:1. And this is if I was, say, posting to Instagram or something like that. Now what I can do is I can click and drag this around, or I can grab one of the points and move it in. But you'll notice that it still always stays to the same aspect ratio. Now let's try another one. We'll try a... let's have a look. Let's try a 10:8. And there you can see the same again, but what I can do now is I can recompose my image to try and make it much stronger compositionally. I'll just stick that Lifestyles on that third, and I think that looks pretty good. So I'm really recomposing it to try and make it much more dynamic. So I'm happy with that, so I'm going to click on the green check mark here to commit my change. Next on down is red eye. Well, we haven't got any red eye in this image. It says no red eyes were found, but if you did find some of that evil red eyes, then give this feature a go. Next I'm going to click on the FX. And this gives me a load of pre-programmed little effects that I can use. And I can scroll through them and it's just a one click. Number of different effects. And I can just have a look through them and I think, oh, I fancied this was, oh, there's an antique light and there's a caramel. Oh, I fancy that caramel one. So I'm going to click on that and it adds the effect for me. So it gives me like a little sepia toned image, which I quite like. Yeah, I like that. Next I can go to Smart Fix. Well, that isn't good. Smart Fix is trying to auto-calculate the tonal range of my image, and in this case it's doing a pretty rubbish job. It's pants. In fact, it's worse than that, it's underpants. So it may work with some images and some not so good. So I'm just going to click the undo button to take me back to my caramel, which I like. The next one down is light. And here I can choose how light or dark I want my image. I've got this little slider here so I can click and drag it up to make it lighter, and I can click or drag it down to make it darker. Is that not cool? And very intuitive, I like that. Next one is colour. Exactly the same if I want to make it more colourful or increase the saturation, which you probably won't notice much on here because it's more of a sepia tone image, but I can lighten the colours off or make them less saturated or more saturated with this slider. It's pretty cool. And lastly but not leastly, we've got clarity. And clarity is mid-tone contrast, and what you can do is give your images a little bit of pop with a bit of clarity, and I can drag that up to increase the clarity, and it just gives it that appearance of sharpness. Or if I want to soften it off, I can drag it down and make it softer, give it like an ethereal sort of look. That is pretty good. And again, we can click the before and after to see where we've been and where we've got to. I have to say, I think that looks a lot better. So when I've finished with all that, I can come down and I can save it. So I'm going to click the save button. Now if I go back up here and hit the back button now, it'll take me back to the Elements Organiser in grid view. Now you'll notice a little icon appear up in the top corner of the image here. And this is what's called a version set. If I hover over it, it just shows you a little tooltip there telling you it's a version set. Now what's this all about? Well, if you see here, there's another little icon here, this little arrow. And if I click on that, it opens up the two images here. So what I've got now is I've got my original image and I've got my edited image here. And they're basically bolted together so that I'm never going to lose them. So I've got my original and I've got my edited image, and it basically gives you it allows you to tidy the stack up a little bit. So if I click that now, this little arrow, it folds them up like a little pack of cards. It's going to give me more space on my organiser if I click on that, and that'll close them down or open them up. Now if I right click on this image, there is a version set submenu, and here I can expand the items, I can collapse the items in the version set, I can flatten all the items down to just one image, I can convert them to the individual items, or I can revert back to the original, or I can remove items completely from the version set. And you can also change which one you see first. So at the moment I'd be seeing this one first. If I wanted to see my original first, then what I'd do is go to version set and I'd tell it to set that as the top item, and then that's the one you'd see when the version set was all collapsed up. So when looking through your images, remember, it may not be necessary to open up the editor. It can be quicker just to make simple adjustments right here in the Elements Organiser. Well, that's it for this video. How to complete some pretty cool editing tasks in the Elements Organiser rather than open up the full editor. Now I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up or leave a comment under the video. And please click on that subscribe button and help me to grow my Photoshop learning community. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.